We have a quorum, it looks like. And so I'm going to go ahead and call our meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. It's May 28, 2020 at 3 p.m. Welcome to the Sacramento Public Library Authority Board. And at this time, I'm going to ask our clerk, Heather, if she would please call the roll and establish quorum.
For helping me prepare for the next step in life. So I wish you guys all well for the next 4 years.
Angelique Ashby.
I would like to thank my parents, my grandparents.
And I just want to remind everyone who's on the call, if you are not talking, if you can put your phone on mute, it kind of helps with our being able to hear things. Thank you.
Okay, Angelique Ashby. Pretty sure she's here. Larry Carr.
Here.
Everybody. Sean Farmer. Sue Frost.
Here.
Derek Gatewood. Eric Guerra.
Here.
Rick Jennings.
Here.
Patrick Kennedy.
Here.
Stephanie Wynn. Don Tolley.
Here.
Susan Peters. Actually, Saul Hernandez.
Here.
Phil Cerna.
Here.
Jeff Slowey.
Here.
Darren Soon.
Here.
Alan Warren.
Okay. We have a quorum. And at this time, I'm going to invite everyone who can to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and rise or just say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
which stands
one
one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
justice.
For all.
Thanks, everyone. I'm looking forward to the day when we're all together doing the pledge. And at this time, I'm going to ask our clerk, Heather, if you would please read the video statement.
This meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Authority Board is cablecast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T Uverse cable systems. The meeting is closed captioned and webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. Today's meeting will be repeated Saturday, May 30th at 4 p.m. and Sunday, May 31st at 4 p.m. on Channel 14. The meeting will also be recorded via Zoom. A DVD copy will be available no later than 2 weeks following today's meeting. The full agenda, including reports, is available on the website at www.saclibrary.org. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should raise their hand in the Zoom program. Please speak clearly when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes so that everyone may be heard. Please also note that participation in this teleconference via telephone rather than through the Zoom app may result in your telephone number being visible to the public during the live broadcast and later telecasts of this meeting.
Thank you, Heather. And so at this time, we will move forward to public item 2, public comment on matters not on the agenda. And I do not see any hands raised in the participants or anyone indicating in chat that they would like to speak. If you have an item that you wish to speak on that's on the agenda, you can wait until that item. So I'm going to.
Excuse me, I've raised my hand in the reactions thing, but did you not see it?
I'm sorry, I didn't. I was looking at the under participants. Hang on, I didn't see.
Mr. Derringer, the hand raising is under participants.
I see.
There's an option to raise your hand.
I'm glad you spoke up though. If you have public comment, we want to hear it.
Okay, good. Thank you, Priska. Is that my time now? Can I speak?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, this is Jim Dieringer, and I'm president of the board of directors of the Sacramento Public Library Foundation. As we do every May, we're presenting to the Library Authority the following distributions. So we have 3 endowment distributions that total $114,243. These include $55,805 from the Books and Materials Endowment, $51,848 from the Sacramento Room Endowment for the purpose of digitizing the Sacramento Room collection, and $6,590 distributed from the Jack and Lillian Sukas Sacramento Room Endowment for the purpose of the Sacramento Room's general fund. And then we have 3 non-endowment contributions as well that total $35,191. $28,480 of that is to be used for supplies for the 2 new electric bookmobiles that are provided for in the library's current budget. There's $3,811 for books, materials, and programs at the Art and Dimick Branch Library, and $2,900 for books and materials. Now, in addition to this, we've raised some funds for the library's summer reading program and summer meals program, but given that distribution of these amounts would bear on issues in pending litigation, we will be corresponding with the authority's counsel in the near future on that subject. So we want to say that we're grateful to the entire library staff for their hard work and their dedication to children's literacy. The foundation, its staff, and its board feel strongly that our library system should be at the center of Sacramento's literacy solutions, and we remain committed to advancing literacy through the resources that the library offers. These checks I've described will be mailed directly to the library administrative offices. Attention, Johnny, you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dieringer. And given the circumstances of public comment, we're not really able to respond, but we appreciate all of your effort in working with the library over time. And I know we have litigation and issues right now. So with that, we will move on. Appreciate your keeping us updated. And I want to see if there are any others. I do not see any other public comments. And so I'm going to go ahead and move forward to our presentations. Next item, please.
Item 3.1, Friends of the Sacramento Public Library.
Hello, good afternoon.
Karen Wilson was, oh, hi, Karen, how are you?
Hello, Sue.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity to speak with you today. As you can appreciate, on behalf of the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library, a lot of our volunteers are anxiously waiting for our libraries to reopen, but we have been busy. And just in case you weren't following all 650 plus charities on the big day of giving on the leaderboard, I wanted to let you know that we had an explosion of support really for the libraries and the Book First program. So we had comments in honor of everything from a child's first birthday to the librarian who meant so much, to the person who donated, to the kids who never got the Scholastic books because their parents couldn't afford them. And when they were handed out in class, these kids were always passed over. And I was one of those kids. And that person donated $25. And I just thought that one really made us all kind of choke up. But they were all over the board in support of libraries and kids learning to read. And that was heartwarming, especially because our donation totals were 1.5 times this year what they were last year. And the same rate for our donors were about 1.5 times what we had last year. We had 736 donors, and 300 of those were brand new, had never donated to Book First before. So we see that as a real vote of support for the library and Book First. So kids still have to learn to read even in these times, and I think people really responded to that message. So the library, we know, will be working with the schools to figure out what Book First looks like this year. That's what we told our donors. We were honest with them that we don't know what Book First will look like if you can't get into the classroom to hand out the books, but we will be working to make sure that those first graders, especially in the disadvantaged areas, do get their books this year. Meantime, I thought I would let you know that our Book Den warehouse is going to reopen in June on an appointment basis. And people have let us know that virtual is nice, but they want a book in their hands. So we'll be taking appointments starting June 20th, and we'll see how that goes. But we anticipate a whole lot of people. That said, we're encouraging the people to our friends, members, and everybody we see that in the meantime, the library has some great programs online, virtual programs. And I'm especially fond of their happy hour with books, and and the kids' story time is a lot of fun too. So, you know, the library's doing a great job. We're out there letting people know that, and everybody in the community is very supportive of the library right now, and glad to hear from us whenever we are there to talk about it. So thank you so much for the opportunity today.
Thank you, Karen, and thank you for all that you at the Friends of the Library do for your commitment and dedication to the Sacramento Public Library Authority. And it's hard to believe all the things that the library's doing. I mean, between door deliveries and online resources and computer access and checkout by computer, where there's all kinds of great ideas moving forward. I know you're thinking of more, but we really appreciate all that you're doing to promote literacy in the region, and we thank you for your dedication.
Thank you.
Next item, please. Oh, do any other, I do not see any hands from board members, so we will move on to our next item, please.
Item 4.1, Director's Report.
And
Thank you, Heather. So I think the board can definitely take a look at the written report. You'll see that much of what the library staff is doing relates to moving to a virtual environment thanks to COVID-19. But we're discovering a lot of new partnerships and really appreciate the opportunity to show our jurisdictions that we can be helpful. A couple of examples include the more than 200 face shields that we've produced for Sacramento County so that workers doing testing and other things are able to stay safe. And the other areas include census calling, the Great Plates program that the city is involved with in terms of providing meals to seniors. We haven't stopped our virtual programming. We're expanding it. Lots of things for kids, including tween book clubs, teen space discussions, teen advisory board meetings, virtual class visits. While school has been in session, our librarians have not been able to go into classrooms, but they're able to go in and visit virtually. Of course, summer reading program is going. It's less busy than it is, but we're going to be sending all of our board members some information to update your constituents via your newsletters. We're hoping to get the word out to get people reading. And librarians are out visiting emergency childcare centers to help first responders, and we're offering curbside service now in 8 locations. We'll be adding 6 more next week. We have a book a librarian service, and we've moved to the virtual world. Of course, one of the things that we're really excited about is the fact that we tried our first virtual author visit, and former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright spoke to an audience of 600 people, and we got a lot of great feedback from that. So we have another author coming on June 24th, Adrian Bankert, who's a reporter with ABC Good Morning America and a local girl, grew up in Sacramento, and is now on the national news, will be visiting Sacramento virtually to promote her new book. Our adult literacy services department has also gone virtual, and I was able to watch an English conversation group where there were people who spoke many different languages online, all talking via Zoom. So we're all adjusting to that. That said, we know we have a lot of people in our community who do not have access, who are on the wrong side of the digital divide. And we want to make sure that we get our doors open as soon as it's safe and we're waiting for that. But in the meantime, we're planning. I should also mention that we're able to respond very quickly. On Tuesday, we talked with County Emergency Services about COVID-19 testing in library parking lots, and we had a soft opening this morning at the Valley High North Laguna Library. It happened faster than I think all of us were quite prepared for, but it shows how quickly everyone is responding to COVID-19 now that it's become part of our reality. I also urge you to take a look at the memo that we sent to City Manager Howard Chan regarding some library needs. We'll be preparing a similar one for the county related to CARES funding. I'm happy to answer any questions.
And I don't see any hands yet, but I just wanted to ask you, when was the Adrian Bankert event?
That will be on June the 24th, and we'll be sending more information out soon. We'll use that same platform, which is called Crowdcast. It works very well. And we're working on some other authors as well, because we think it's a great way to connect the community. We had people from New Zealand, New York, Washington State, and other places visiting while we were hosting Madam Secretary. I don't know that we'll have ever quite the crowd we had when she visited, but it was really gratifying to see the response and to hear how excited people were to have this opportunity.
It was, and it was a very interesting program also.
Good, thank you.
And I don't see any hands raised. Do we have any directors?
This
Yes.
is Angelique. Sorry, I'm
Hi,
using.
Angelique.
I couldn't. My normal apparatus wouldn't let me in, so I'm using a different one than I usually use. And I can only see a few of you, but I can see that my colleague, Councilmember Rick Jennings, is on there. And I can't tell if any other city folks are. But I thought I would chime in on behalf of us and just let you guys know that we took a first swing at our CARES COVID dollars. Rick, maybe you can help me out here. And we're coming back with the bulk of our expenditures, but we put some early things in there that are kind of no-brainers. We're waiting on surveys from the public to do some of the other bigger things. But one thing that we did include was money to work with the library on 3 things. One is the Great Plates that you heard Rivka talk about. One is about community outreach, just getting information into the hands of people across the city of Sacramento. And the other is on digital divide and digital equity, and this plan to use the broadband background of the library to reach people within a mile of every city branch. So we'll keep you posted on how that goes. Rick, how did I do? Did I miss anything? Hang on, he's on mute.
No, I think you've covered it all. We were unanimous in our support for dollars for the library, especially as it relates to the community outreach, the digital divide and equity, as well as the Great Plates program that has been so successful. So we'll get you more information.
Right. What did we say about youth, Rick? That they were going to work with the library or something? I don't remember. Was it a partnership there? Or?
I'm not quite.
I can't remember. I think it was just partnering or something, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're actually already partnering because we go out and do visits to the emergency childcare and other. We're reaching out in every way we can to make sure that everybody in the community feels connected. So thank you, and thank you for Tuesday night. We already have a meeting scheduled with the city's chief information officer. We'll be talking on Monday.
Take Jared with you. But Rick was right.
Of course.
His point there to our colleagues that I think was important that he was making is that we are unanimous. We all see the library as a really great asset, especially in times like this. So city is going to utilize that relationship the best we can. So.
Yeah, and just one other thing, we talked about increasing the ability for the library to even do more. There were council members who spoke of the opportunity to partner more than we partnered in the past, depending on your capacity. So there'll be conversations with you
yes.
To see what else can we do together to achieve the greatness that we want to see for all of our kids.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Sounds like you're on it, all over it, doing good things for the library. Appreciate that. Anyone else have any comments from the board? And Rivka, were you, had you completed your director's report?
Yes, I just want to mention, going back to the curbside pickup that we implemented at our Sylvan Oaks and Bell Coolidge libraries, it's been received very, very positively. And we're getting calls from people saying, what about my library? So we're pretty pleased with how that's going. And the concierge service, where we'll be able to have a librarian providing advice on what to read and then putting together a package, I think will be another added benefit to that. So we're doing our best, and we're pretty pleased with the response so far. Thank you.
Great. Okay, next item, please.
Item 5.1, monthly financial report, January 2020.
Okay, the next several items are information items, and I wonder, Heather, if you want to just read them all into the record, and then if we have any board members who have any questions, we can address those at the time.
Item 5.2, monthly treasurer's report, January 2020. Item 5.3, monthly financial report, February 2020. Item 5.4, monthly treasurer's report, February 2020. Item 5.5, monthly financial report, March 2020. Item 5.6, quarterly treasurer's report, March 2020.
Okay. And do we have any directors who had any questions regarding the information items? Seeing none, and I do not see any public comment for the information items. And so with that, let's move to the next item, please.
Item 6.1, action summary.
Heather, I think you can go ahead and read the entire consent agenda, and then directors can pull out anything they might want to individually.
Item 6.2, contract approval, legal services, City of Sacramento. Item 6.3, approved contract amendment, laundered cleaning supply service, Mission Linen and Uniform Service. Item 6.4, contract renewal, materials recovery services, unique management services. Item 6, oh, that's it.
Okay, and before we vote on consent, I just want to say a special thanks to City of Sacramento and for Jen, who is a valuable asset to the executive team at the Library Authority. And I do not see any hands raised. Do we have a motion to approve consent?
Move approval of the consent calendar, Larry Carr.
Second, Councilmember Soon.
Okay, so motion by Director Carr, second by Director Soon. And if the clerk would please roll call vote, read a roll call vote, please.
Angelique Ashby.
Yes.
Larry Carr.
Yes.
Sue Frost.
Yes.
Garrett Gatewood. Eric Guerra.
Aye.
Rick Jennings.
Aye.
Patrick Kennedy.
Aye.
Stephanie Nguyen.
Yes.
Don Natoli.
Aye.
Saul Hernandez.
Aye.
Phil Cerna.
Aye.
Jeffrey Slowey.
Aye.
Darren Soon.
Aye.
And Alan Warren. Thought he was here. It's unanimous with all members present.
Thank you, Heather. And next item, please.
Next item is 7.1, proposed budget cost allocation plan, position control listing, and fines and fees for fiscal year 2021.
So, I'll just start out by saying that the budget committee did meet and have a conversation around all of this on the 20th, and felt there was consensus to move it forward to the board. And so I believe Johnny at this time is going to provide a staff report for us.
Thank you, Chair Frost and members of the board. Chair, if I may have the share screen, please.
Yes, Johnny, I just authorized you.
All right, thank you, sir. So as we all know, this budget is definitely different from prior budgets. And trying to put it together and trying to look at the future as well too, and see what might or might not happen. So, as Rivka infamously always mentioned, what we don't know, we still don't know. So, a lot of this budget is based on what we assume and guesstimate. And some of which we've done research or in terms of speaking with city finance department and also the county, assessor for property tax revenue. So those are our major funding sources. So as you know, the COVID-19 pandemic have turned the world upside down. Unemployment, so when we rolled up the staff report, it was at 33 million. As of this morning, I've heard it's topping 40 million. So people are still unemployed and based from the sense of normalcy. The stay-at-home shelter has definitely caused a halt from coast to coast. And any negative revenue impacts will be felt in fiscal year 21 and 22. So fiscal year 20 and 21, this upcoming budget, revenue sources are estimated at 50 million, roughly $50 million. Expenditures at 53.4 million. So that's a recommendation of using approximately 3.4 million in fund balance for one-time usage. And these three automated material handling, so AMHS, for 3 branches. Carmichael branch, that'll be a brand new purchase. Rancho Cordova and Elk Grove, those are replacements. So the total cost is approximately $706,000. And also we are recommending to purchase or to replace 2 electric bookmobiles at $500,000, and staff are working on matching grants to help support the purchase of those 2 electric bookmobiles. The 2 current ones that we have, those are reaching the end of useful lives. They are over 20 years old, and so we are recommending to make these purchases. And bookmobiles are very important to for outreach programs, for senior centers, and other represented or other underserved communities. So this is a good way to reach folks that cannot easily get to the library branches. And then also approximately $2 million will be recommended for the replacement of a surveillance system, so within the branches. So those are one-time usage, and we felt that these are very important purchases for ongoing operations of the library. So I'm not going to go through all the pages, but what I'd like to do is point out a typo where right here it should say 7.1. So as we're putting the agenda together, we started with 8.1, but as Rivka and I shifting the items around, it ended at 7.1. So I just want to make sure that we point that out. And so Heather, if you could change that before we archive the electronic.
Johnny, I mentioned to Sue and Heather this morning, all typos are mine. And Jared and I went through the agenda packet on Tuesday night and we missed that one. So we're sorry for any confusion.
Yeah, and I take responsibility too for that. So, but we're all dealing with the transition and trying to go back and forth. with the changes. So I noticed that this morning. So just want to point that out
Yes,
to
thank you.
the board and the committees. So looking at just a quick glance, these are major revenue sources. So again, property taxes at 55%, city general fund at 23%, so approximately $11.1 million, and county property taxes are at estimated about $27.7 million. Expenditure-wise, salaries and benefits are a major expenditure expenses, so it's at 57.3%, so roughly $30.6 million. And then the next bigger expense is services, supplies, and deferred maintenance at 25.8%. So that's roughly 13.7 million. So the revenue, as I mentioned, for fiscal year 21, so property tax wise, we're estimating a 5% increase. And this is based on checking with the county assessor to see what might happen next year and future years as well too. So the recommendation is that the property taxes are likely going to be stable based on. So these are based on the 2019 assessed values, and as we all know, with the pandemic and people losing their jobs, future years there may be some defaults in loan payments and causing some property values to decline. So, based on Proposition 8, there may be appeals down the road for a reassessed value based on those property values. And so there could potentially be a reduction in property tax income in fiscal year 21 and beyond. So 5-year forecast of what we've done is estimate 5% for next year. And then the 4 out years, it's going to be flat from now until we find out otherwise. City General Fund, we've checked with Dawn Holmes, the finance director, and she's confirmed that we are safe to keep it at the $500,000 step-up increase based on the 5-year forecast. So so those two major revenue sources, we feel confident for now. But again, things are subject to change depending on how things go as businesses, the library, and other agencies starts the reopening phase. Household taxes, Measure X and Measure B, those again are estimated at 3% CPI based on the San Francisco index. Fines and fees, gallery income, we're estimating a drop in those revenue sources. Gallery events have been zero since we closed, so many of the graduation canceled, weddings probably delayed or postponed. And then interest income, we are dropping it down by about $250,000, so roughly 50% of what we projected in the current fiscal year. So and how the economy goes, we'll probably have to go back and relook at some of these numbers when we come back to present the board with the September final budget. And speaking of the city of Sacramento, as we recall, during the Great Recession, the city opened 3 new branches. So we finally got through the major hump on trying to balance the city's budget. And, working with the city's finance team and board, the city was able to provide step-up increases starting fiscal year 18, 19, and 20. And then if you look at the schedule, again, per discussion with the finance director, Dawn Holmes, they continue to build a step-up increase for the next 4 years as well too. So again, these are stuff, projections in the budget, but again, it's still up in the air depending on the city's general fund revenue sources. Sales tax could be, as you know, it's taking a major downfall. TOT taxes, last we've heard hotels are probably at 90 to 95% vacancy. So that's one of the general fund sources. So that's going to be an impact to the city general fund. And in turn, it could potentially impact the library's contribution as well too. So that's one thing we wanted to sort of keep in mind in the back burner to consider as we work on the budget and update the 5-year forecast. The central distribution, again, this is based on the square footage of central and the market rental rates for the square footage. So based on the calculation, it came out to 505,000 for fiscal year 21, and 377,000 of that is charged to the county fund, and 96,000 to Measure X, and 32,000 charged to Measure B. The cost allocation, this is an updated plan that we updated for the so the total allocable cost, administrative cost, is at 22.4 million. And so of that amount, 59% is the county portion, city general fund at 26%, and Measure B at 6%, and Measure X at 9%. And we'll take a look at the cost plan, I think on page 115, just to see how the numbers break down. So speaking of the cost plan, total shared cost for the fiscal year 21 budget is at 21.8 million. So of that amount, again, based on the percentage allocation, 12.9 million goes to the county fund, 5.7 million to roughly 2 million to Measure X, and 1.3 million to Measure B. And then just going down to books and materials. So in the grade years, so kind of looking back a little bit, in 2009, our book budget was at about 2.5 million. And in the positive years, we've been able to increase the book budget to 6.6 million as of fiscal year 20. And in light of the pandemic and the future economic uncertainties, we felt that was the right thing to do to decrease the book budget slightly by 400,000 to 6.2 million for fiscal year 2021. So that's still that's still quite a nice budget for books. But again, we're taking incremental steps to hopefully balance the budget in future years. Position control. So position control, we, in working with the Finance Advisory Committee and the Budget Audit Committee, one of the things that we wanted to do was look at vacant positions. So Rivka, HR, management went through all the vacant positions that have been vacant for a number of years. And we were able to identify 8 positions that we wanted to eliminate. And then also we're recommending to add 3 new positions. So in turn, we recommend reduce 5 FTEs, equating to roughly $550,000 in savings for fiscal year 2021. Fines and fee structures, there are no changes recommended this time for fines and fees. And then in future years, again, the COVID-19 shutdown is still unknown. The experts are, assuming that the recovery will be slow. So we are being conservative as much as we can with revenue projections, save on expenses as much as possible as well too on areas that we could provide some savings. Still Sacramento, the county property taxes, we are keeping flat starting fiscal year 22 and beyond. Fiscal year 21, we are fairly confident that the 5% increase would be whole by the time we close the books. City of Sacramento, again, we are anticipating to receive the additional 500,000 step-up increase for fiscal year 21. But as you see on the staff, is still about 15.5 million in unfunded capital needs, and one of which is an ongoing discussion for the building refresh of the Martin Luther King branch at 5.5 million, and also the North Sacramento branch relocation at 7.5 million. And then in fiscal year 21, there'll be labor negotiations with Local 39 for both library units. And then the supplemental funding, again, we met with the committee in light of the uncertainties. They recommended to defer the supplemental allocation for fiscal year 20. So once we wrap up the fiscal year 20 audit, we'll go back and take a look at the supplemental fund again and see how much could be allocated to the different jurisdictions. And then CalPERS, the discount rate reduction it'll equate to about 1.1 million increase over the next 3 years. And then on top of that, in light of the pandemic, they'll most likely go back and reassess the discount rate. So mainly the investment earnings, which has taken a dive over the last 3 months. So most likely they'll probably go back, reassess it, and the library to pay some type of increase CalPERS contribution for the employer side. And then, you know, it's, like, again, this budget is based on assumptions, you know, guesstimates at times, and also just trying to look at the local economies as well as the national level. So we'll bring back the final budget to the authority board in September for any updates or any revenue or expenditure changes. So just want to highlight this schedule here really quick. So this is a 3-year flow of our fund balances. So in fiscal year 19, this is the audited fund balances at 40.2 million. Fiscal year 20, we're anticipating to be close to about the same at 40.3 million. Estimated revenues for fiscal year 21 at 50 million in this column right here. Expenditures at 53.4 million for fiscal year 21. And also the cash flow and economic uncertainty reserves. The counties is at 10.6 million, so this is 35%, and 2.2 million for City of Sacramento at 17%, Postal Tax X at 1.2 million, and roughly 406,000 for Measure B for City of Sacramento as well too. So I just want to point that out to the authority board that cash flow and economic uncertainty reserves is estimated to be at about 14.4 million for this upcoming fiscal year. And this is, believe it or not, we've adopted the reserve policy just about a year ago around this time. So this is something that is really great to have in this unknown times. And I think we all did a great job from the board, the committees, and the management and the finance team to you know, do the surveys, look at the reserves and see what we truly need for cash flows and potential, you know, economic downfalls, just like what we're going through now. So this is a good balance to have in the back burner for any future revenue shortages that we might face with. And then, so I just want to go to page 1. Oops. So on page 114, so on page 114, this is the 5-year trend of our cost allocation plan. And as you see, it's been fairly stable. So the county portion is roughly 58 or 59%. And then in fiscal year 21, based on update, it's still going to be at 59%. And then the city of Sacramento combined is at 41%. So I know there's a lot of info there, but if you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer any. Thank you, Chair Frost.
Thank you, Johnny. And thank you for all your work on the budget. I know it was really, based on what you shared with us in the budget committee, it was really helpful to have the finance advisory. I know there's a lot of open-ended challenges that we're facing as we're opening as quickly as we can at the county as far as the COVID-19, not knowing what will transpire as we open things up and what challenges will come, and really it seems like library as we knew it has changed through all this, but we don't know how that will unfold and play forward, and how we'll have economic considerations, revenue considerations, different expenses, possible pension considerations, and all the other things you mentioned. So we all really, on behalf of the board, we really appreciate your hard work on the budget and helping us understand the challenges that you have as we're moving forward. And at this time, I'm going to ask the board if they have any, if any of the board members have any questions for Johnny or comments. And I'm seeing none. Okay. Yes, Director Soon.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I just want to echo your sentiments. Want to commend Johnny and the staff, Rivka, for all the work in putting this together. I know these are challenging times for everybody, and which makes this job even more challenging, putting together the budget. So just wanted to commend and recognize that as well. Thanks.
Thanks, Darren. Anyone else have any comments or questions regarding the budget? At this time, I do not see any questions or comments. I'll call for public comment if there. Is there anyone who would like to speak from the public? And I'm not seeing.
Chair Frost, I'll move approval. Director Slowey.
Thank you, Director Slowey.
Seconded by Director Guerra.
Thank you, Director Guerra. So first by Slowey, second by Guerra. Would the clerk please call the roll? Roll call vote.
Angelique Ashby,
Yes.
Larry Carr,
Aye.
Sue Frost,
Aye.
Garrett Gatewood, Eric Guerra,
Aye.
Rick Jennings,
Aye.
Patrick Kennedy,
Aye.
Stephanie Wynn, Don
Yes.
Matoli,
Aye.
Saul Hernandez,
Aye.
Bill Cerna,
Aye.
Jeffrey Slowey,
Aye.
Darren Soon,
Aye.
unanimous with members present.
Thank you. We have a budget moving forward. And so next item, please.
That's no more items.
Okay, so at this time, I'll ask if anyone has any reports, ideas, questions from board members in conclusion that you'd like considered forward. Seeing none, if there are no other comments, this meeting is adjourned. Have a nice day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you all so much. Johnny, great job.